multicellular organisms, some unicellular, but eukaryotes in general. Okay, so what are the characteristics of a eukaryote? Small, can be small, but it can also be. Okay, good. Has membrane-bound organelles, including a nucleus. Yes?
If I remember from the lab, they can only reproduce like when there's a lot of them. They can't just, like, if you cut off someone's arm, it can't grow a person.
Okay.
It can only grow its own specialized type cell.
So that is true for tissues and large multicellular organisms, but is not characteristic of all eukaryotes. What's that? Okay, yeah, it has a cytoskeleton. So it has more on the inside of the cell. The prokaryote was very simple. Okay, good. They also belong to the domain Eukarya. Okay, what was the domain of prokaryotes? Bacteria. Good. Yeah, bacteria and archaea. All right, they can also be unicellular or multicellular. Okay, and then a multicellular organism has specialized cells. Okay, prokaryotes can only be unicellular. Okay, one other thing. They have multiple linear, what am I going to say? Chromosomes. Good. And prokaryotes had what? One circular chromosome. Good. All right, so that's a good list. There are other generalizations you could make about them, but these are the ones unique. All right, now we're going to draw an animal cell. We'll do a plant cell next time. Okay, so we'll start with our lipid bilayer, which forms the plasma membrane or cell membrane or lipid membrane. They're synonymous. Okay, the cell may also have a flagella, such as a sperm cell, or lots of smaller projections, also used for movement, called cilia. Okay, and that's pretty much it for the outside of the cell. There are some other structures that can form, but that's what we're going to keep it simple. All right. So if you remember, one of the characteristics is a nucleus, and there are certain parts of the nucleus a nuclear envelope, which is a double lipid layer. You have the chromosomes on the inside of the nucleus and an area where ribosomes are being formed called the nucleolus. And then proteins embedded on the outside of the nucleus to allow things in and out, called the nuclear pores. Okay, and so in the nucleus contains the genetic information, which is important for making proteins, for reproduction, contains the genes of the cell. All right, surrounding the nucleus, you have another membrane organelle called the endoplasmic. Okay, endo means within, and plasma may be referring to the within the plasma membrane or within the cytoplasm, and then reticulum. Okay, and there are two different types. The type that has the ribosomes is called the rough endoplasmic reticulum. And the type without it is called the smooth. Okay? So those ribosomes are important for making proteins. Those proteins can then be embedded within the endoplasmic reticulum and be packaged to be sent elsewhere. Sometimes the endoplasmic reticulum is also for storage of salts or other macromolecules. Okay, so we have another membranous organelle called the Golgi Apparatus or the Golgi bodies. Okay, so you may have a protein that was synthesized at the ribosomes at the endoplasmic reticulum and then shipped to the Golgi apparatus, where you may want to put a lipid tail on it so it can be embedded within the lipid membrane. So that would occur at the or one place it could occur is at the Golgi apparatus. Okay, so the protein would go in the cis side. And then exit the trans side. Cis going in, trans going out. Okay, the Golgi apparatus can also make little membrane packets called vesicles. And you can put specific things inside of the vesicle, okay? So if the vesicle has a bunch of enzymes in it, which are used for breaking things down and recycling them, it's called a lysosome. If the vesicle has another enzyme, for breaking down hydrogen peroxide, it's called a peroxisome. So what happens in there, you have hydrogen peroxide, which is H2O2. This is a radical, free radical, which will react with different elements, and that's bad for the things within it. It'll convert that into harmless water. Okay. All right, one other organelle, which is very important. has a double membrane, kidney-shaped, called the mitochondria. What's that? Yeah, powerhouse of the cell. So yeah, this is where cellular respiration takes place. Glucose goes into the cell. It's broken up into smaller particles, which then go into the mitochondria, which is then breaking it down further. Each time you break it down, you're releasing energy, and it uses that to make ATP, which is the usable form of energy in the cell. Okay, any questions?